They say he was not a prophet, but something older. His words were found in hidden manuscripts, locked in vaults no one remembers building. He warned us not of an enemy outside, but of a collapse from within. So here's his story. He was born in 1924 and died in 1998. During his life, he wrote poetry and plays and stories that never won any award. And after his death, his books gathered dust until one day, decades after he passed away, a researcher discovered his work. And amongst his manuscripts, they found a book titled The Kennedy, a collection of prophecies about the future of America. And inside these pages, written in 1968, were warnings of a future which seems to be coming true right before our eyes. In this video, we're going to read what the Seer wrote about the United States and its future. We'll start with his first prophecy, where he talks about America wounding itself. He says, "When the eagle wounds itself with its own claw and forgets the sky it once ruled, then shall the silence grow louder than the storm." To understand this, we need some context. Throughout American history, the bald eagle has been a symbol of strength and freedom. It was chosen as the national bird because it can live far away from other eagles, unafraid of anything except man. It lives on its own terms, soaring high above the ground, free from earthly ties. In a way, it mirrors the spirit of America itself. So what does it mean when the eagle wounds itself? Well, the answer is found in another part of his book. There he writes, "For the love of comfort, for the lure of ease, they trade their birthright for a moment's peace. Their children, too, inherit the same mistake, a sterile sky, a hollowed-out heart, a future bought and sold for a platter of fame and gold." He goes on to write, "When they built towers of glass, singing with data and light, they forgot the whispers of the wild, the healing touch of night. They've bartered their souls for progress and speed, not knowing the emptiness it would feed." Here he's talking about how Americans are becoming too comfortable, too dependent on technology. This is what he means by America wounding itself. As we focus on our problems, we make ourselves vulnerable. The next thing he says is, "They will raise their hands to machines and bow before algorithms. But none will ask, what have we lost?" Now, look around you. Do you think we've lost something? Are there things in your life that you now do automatically without questioning? Why? What have we lost? You might think he's talking about things like how we're always online, how social media dictates our mood, how we get our news through bite-sized clips, how everything's instant, fast food, fast fashion, fast money, or how even our relationships are now transactional, like buying followers or joining groups to boost sales. Remember how he said the silence grows louder than the storm? It's a silence that comes from within, a numbness to all things creative, natural, and humane. But he didn't stop there. He also talked about riots, but not the kind you may think. He says, "And though the cities burn with the fire of discontent, it will not be the fire of revolution, but the cold flames of meaning. They will not rage against injustice or tyranny's hold, but in silent desperation, story untold." These are powerful words because today, riots happen every year, every month, sometimes every week. People take to the streets. But what are they rioting for? What are they rebelling against? Sometimes it's hard to tell. He saw a future full of confusion, a society that would rebel without a cause. In many ways, this has already started. Riots and protests are at an all-time high. But are these the riots the Seer of the Veil was talking about? You tell me, is there meaning behind them, or are they meaningless acts of violence? Now let's talk about what he had to say about leaders. He says, "Their leaders will speak in tones of honeyed deceit, wearing smiles like masks and kindness in their feet. They'll build towers of glass and dance in golden halls, blind to the cracks that spread and the silent, weeping walls." Today, politicians pretend to care. They promise change, but nothing ever happens. They don't really care about the people, do they? They only care about staying in power. But that's not all. He also talked about a storm. "Beware the hour when the reckoning draws near. For though the storm will not come from the east or the west, it will rise from within, not with fire and bloodshed, nor earthquakes and skies rent asunder, but with the slow forgetting of who they were and the names of those who loved them." So, what storm is he talking about? He was not talking about climate change or global warming. Instead, he was talking about a storm of ignorance, a forgetting of our roots, of what made us human. In our rush for progress, we've forgotten what truly matters. We used to sit around a fire and share stories. That's how humans used to connect. But now that connection is gone. We have the internet, but we're more alone than ever before. He warned us that the biggest threat to America isn't communism or capitalism or some crazy dictator. It's us, our collective amnesia, our desire to forget who we are. And finally, he talks about the one who will rise. He says, "In the end, when all seems lost and shadows crawl, and the echo of hope is but a whisper in the thrall, from the depths of despair, one will rise, not from power, but from pain. And in their voice, the world will hear the stars again." This is the last thing he wrote down. This is his final message to us. Many believe he was talking about a savior, a person who will come and solve all our problems. But I don't think that's the case. Who can save us if we don't want to be saved? We are the problem. Only we can fix what we've broken. But maybe he's right, and we won't do anything. Maybe we'll just keep forgetting who we are, where we came from, and why we're here. Maybe we'll keep trading our souls for empty calories, our voices for likes, and our future for cheap thrills. But there's still hope. His words are a reminder that we're not powerless, that we're not beyond saving, that we still have a chance to turn things around. Now, this is the end of his story. But there's something I haven't told you. After writing this, he destroyed all his papers, all except one. Before he died, he left behind a single piece of paper, a single sentence burned into it. Look to the children. One will rise not from power, but from pain. And in their voice, the world will hear the stars again. Some believe this is a warning. Others believe it's a promise. What do you think it means? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to know more about the Seer of the Veil, there's a link in the description box below. Also, do you forget to hit the subscribe button? Because here, that's another story that you should definitely check out.